Think I'm live. Says I'm live. Anyway, just decided to do a quick little video. Still sick. They're going to pour concrete today. So they're supposed to be here at 8 o'clock, which is about normal. It's 8:30 now. They're still not quite here. But we'll see. If somebody jumps in, they can tell me if I'm live or not. As you can see, day before yesterday they finished painted on the inside, finished pretty much painted on the outside. They finished that day before yesterday. The only thing that's left is the paint on the floor. And I was out there this morning. I shouldn't have. I should have stayed in bed. But went out there because I had to change the water in that quarantine tank. So I went out there. But it's a decent job, the paint job. It's nothing to write home about. Hey, Mitch, I am live. Okay. I changed, instead of paying $50 a month, I said, why am I doing that? So I stopped it, and this is the first time that I've used it without it. So I didn't set up an intro video or anything like that. I just pressed go live. So anyway, I'm still sickly. Yeah, I hope so. I do feel better, a lot better. She got me one of those test deals. I tried that a couple days ago, and it didn't do anything. So either it was a bad time, it didn't show that I had it, or I didn't have it. But it seems like it. I had a sore throat, coughing, runny nose, fever. So I don't know. The crap is a flu or cold anyway at this point. So I'm sitting here chewing on some Rice Krispie thing or something, and no shirt. Just I figured I'd do it anyway. See if anybody showed up. I don't think I didn't. I just put it up this morning. So how are you doing? You still laying on your belly, or they cut you loose? Oh, there's two people here now. I think they're going to cut you loose soon, right? Or at least let you, I don't know, sit up. I'd be going crazy. But if it was the virus, it was like a flu, a cold, in case anybody on your belly. Bummer. Hey, Platinum, how you doing? I'm sickly, so I wasn't going to do one, but they're supposed to. You can see the guys kind of working over there. Um, they painted outside, inside. They just have the floor to finish. And I got a whole crap load of concrete on the way, I guess. So they're going to pour concrete. Supposedly this morning, they were supposed to be here at 8 o'clock. Okay. But yeah, so that's it. So I'm just going to sit here and bullshit. If somebody comes in and has questions, by all means, ask them. Try not to eat and chew in front of you. I'll switch to another view here, and we'll see if there's any concrete trucks out there. There they are moving around. And my mother-in-law. Looks like they put some steel down. They did pour some concrete. I can show you that part of it. the other day, 3-4 days ago, because they couldn't get in. So what they did was, let me come here. Because I would have to pay for the truck, I just said pour the front portion or some of it, as much as you can, and that's what they did. My truck's on it right now. Let me, excuse me. The front. No, I want pond and pool. Let me move the camera. Sorry, my nose is. You can see my truck. It's kind of sitting on concrete. So they're going to come down this one side, but I noticed that they put some steel in the indentations where they got stuck. So they came in here, they got stuck. They ended up uh, backing out and are getting out, and then turning around and coming back and pouring from where you can see right there on the right up about. Well, you can see on the other one, it's almost to the street. They ran out. You can see it ended right there. It's got to come up to where that blue post is over to the. You can kind of see it. So they ran out. So it's quite a bit of. What was it? 9 cubic? No, 6 cubic yards or whatever the hell it is. Excuse me, I shouldn't be looking at it. So let's see. Let me go back to. So I don't see any concrete truck. Let's see. I don't see garage. Let's go to garage again, and then you can see the color. The color's the same as the house. I think I'm going to put a white border around the window, the doors, like that. I guess it's concrete. Concrete. At least he's putting the little blocks underneath the steel. I like this guy. This guy that tuned, the guy with the plaid shirt there. He knows what he's doing, and he's reasonable in his prices. I think he's 400 baht a day. And when they get done, I'm gonna give them all a little something. They've done a good job. And then I was trying to think about on the side yard, I might put in another 1,500-gallon koi pond over where I have the quarantine tank. I've got enough room to put in a 5-foot by 8-foot by 5-foot deep pond, which calculates out to about 1,500 gallons. And depending on the money situation, of course. But I like that guy. He's a hard worker. He's ever since he's here and he's tuning his truck. That truck out front that was there is his. He's here at 8 o'clock, man. I don't know if Toon likes that or not. The other day, 2 days ago, when they finished the painting on the outside, he came without Toon. I told him I don't want 10 guys painting. I don't want to spend 30,000 baht to paint this building. No, he didn't. It was all right. Hey, Kenny, how you doing? Retired? Hey, what's up, Brian? Sickly and just getting ready for them to pour concrete. So I ended up paying 1,900 baht a cubic, whatever it is, and it's ended up. I think I budgeted 30,000 baht for the concrete, and right now I should take care of all this and be done with it. I'm at 27,000, so I'm on budget with the concrete. So I watched your video this morning. Name the compound, not yet. Give me some names. What I did. I was kind of hoping that Aaron was gonna pop in. Hopefully, if he's listening, he pops in. Day before yesterday or 3 days ago. 3 days ago, all of a sudden, my wife said the scooter guy, the motorcycle guy, is here. I said, "Shut up!" So I went out there. His son had given him another phone, so that's why I couldn't get a hold of him. And we exchanged all the stuff, and then he came Saturday, day before yesterday, and picked up the Shadow. I gave him the drag pipes. I gave him all the new chrome stuff for the handlebars. The only thing I forgot to give him was the two new, basically stock. I didn't like those mirrors. They were broken. They were cheap. I just got them and stuck them on. But so we'll see. We'll see what happens when he puts those pipes on. Otherwise, hopefully this will be done. I'll roll it into the garage. Hey, Brock, roll it into the garage and I guess give my attempt at tuning dual carburetors that are the most funky setup I've ever seen, but I guess they work. They're one carburetor set in two different directions, and they slip in between I don't know. It's weird. But he has jets. He has all sorts of stuff. So we'll see what happens. Branch Davidians. Yeah, I like that. Um, yeah, barely. Little you can tell in my voice. Hey, Maui. Um, just kind of now. The sore throat's gone, although it's a little scratchy. The runny nose stopped yesterday. She did get me some medicine. I don't think I have a fever. I don't feel like I have a fever. And yeah, it's gone. I guess it's okay compared to what was the first couple of days. Kind of kicked me in the dirt a little bit, but like I said, not any worse than any flu or something. And like I said, the little test thing that she got, it didn't work. It didn't show have it, don't have it. And I said, forget it. I don't care. Whatever it is, it's cold. There was a little bit. The only thing I was worried about is if I was going to have any problem with respiratory stuff, I would have went in. Did I have a problem? Yeah, a little bit, but it wasn't enough to, shock me into. Hey, Jake, shock me into. Yeah, Joe Cocker. um, run into the doctor. Although if it would have got worse, I would have. A little bit labored, just a little bit harder to breathe than normal, but not nothing. And those pretty much were all the. I pretty much named all the symptoms of that new strain or whatever it is. So I had the crud too, negative. Yeah, it didn't give me negative or positive. It gave you a shot. It was a game changer, really. I sent a couple of things. I think I sent it to Jake. This methyl blue stuff that supposedly Kennedy was taking. I ordered 3 bottles of it because it was cheap. I ordered it. It's the exact same 1% stuff, and I'm not even know if I'm going to take it or not. But methanol blue, I've been using that stuff for years to treat fish. It's a dip. You put it in water and you dip the fish. It's a sterilizer. But they're talking cancer. They're talking Alzheimer's, brain fog, all sorts of stuff. So I got to see if I tell my doctor, he's going to say no, you can't take it. But ivermectin, yeah, that was the stuff that Trump took, right, long time ago when he first got it. Anyway, yeah, that it's a textile dye, I guess, is what it is. Yeah. And did you read up on it a little bit? I did a little bit more reading on it. Pretty interesting, man. But they wanted like 800 baht a bottle. I got 3 bottles. It's the exact same as the guy on Facebook that is his business or whatever. Except right across the top it says his little company name, and the bottles that I got are the exact same sticker, but it's something. It's a different name in the top, but it's 1%, and so I might try it because, like you guys know, I'm scared to death of. Well, I don't know, scared. Scared is a strong word. Um, I'm bothered about having to get Alzheimer's. I did send it to Joe. I didn't hear from him. In fact, the only person that I really heard from was Jake. I think I sent it to Mitch because it also with the eyes too, Mitch. Um, in fact, my retinas are. I'm waiting to go to the specialist, but I might give it a try. But the only thing that it says you shouldn't take it with when you read up on it is uh, antidepressants, and I'm not on any antidepressants. I probably should be, but I'm not on any. So we'll see. Yeah, it's a dye. Yeah, textile dye. But they've been using it for years and years and years in fish. And you go into Lasada and put in that, you'll get fish, different. It's different grades and all that. But the stuff that I bought, if you pull up the picture of the guy that was in on Facebook and the stuff he's pushing for 800 baht a bottle, I bought it for 135 baht a bottle, and I think the bottles are bigger. But the actual, what is it? The sticker that goes around it is the exact same sticker. So we'll see. Yeah, it isn't proven in any way, but I might give it a try just to see if it. I'm more. Yeah, the one guy on there said that he was having a problem with brain fog, and that's what I got. At my mind's not clear all the time, and I can't remember shit. So it scares me a little bit. I haven't sat down and rapped with my doctor because they're an automatic no on anything. They won't. He's not even going to look into it. But I don't know. Like I said, Kennedy's taking it. They saw him taking it on a plane, and he's in pretty good shape for an old dude. Uh, but yeah, and it's like you start at like either 5 or 10 drops, and one little bottle is supposed to last like 6 months or something. Um, I'll try it for a little while if it. I mean, I know that in my youth with drugs that I was taking, I had to put in worse shit than this methylene blue. So I don't think they're using it. They use it for, what do they use it for? The eyes, I think. And there's another use that they're using, but they're finding all sorts of uses, kind of like that Alceptric or whatever it is. You know, that's supposed to be for diabetes, and then they find out, well, we can get these fat people to buy the shit out of this for an exorbitant amount of money, because no one likes being a fat bastard, and then they're selling the shit out of that. So it was pure back then. Yeah, most of the stuff I took, some of the weed and shit that came out of Mexico, because I was so close to the border. Um, with the paraquat and a lot of the other shit. But you know what? All the guys that I ran with, and they didn't give a shit when they were spraying. Did it get you high? Yeah, give me some of that shit. So I don't know. It's worth a try, I think. I mean, I'm going to read into it more. I'm not going to. I'll let Jake. Jake will probably dig into it and dig into it. So it's not something I'm going to jump into tomorrow. But I figured I'd get 3 bottles. That way, if everything goes crazy and no one has the stuff, or they want 1,000 baht a bottle, or for it, I've got some for to give away if somebody wants to try it too. Um, Gummies. I'm going to try the gummies. The what are they? Weed gummies or THC gummies, or what are you talking about, Jake? Shall I can't pronounce that word, but shit's a lot. Gummies is shit's a jits. May help. Yeah, because man, the one stuff that Aaron had told me um, is I forget what it is. I still got the bottles. It was expensive. I bought 3 bottles for $100, and my doctor said no, absolutely not, because it affected heart rate and all this kind of crap. But it was all organic crap, so it's hard for me to do. But the link is for me to set up an account. Yeah, I bought this stuff. Did you read up on it at all, Mitch? Of course, you can't really read shit. You're not supposed to be doing nothing. It's a part of an ancient Chinese medicine. Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth in all this stuff from from way back. Like I said, the Egyptians were, they knew that hemp was medicinal, 1 million years ago, but yet people in the United States couldn't figure out that it was medicinal. It's just pharmacies, but I won't get into that. I don't want to rant on that. But yeah, I'm going to just start, like I said, with this aging too. It's supposed to be an anti-aging drug. Um, about from she's having memory issues, memory fog, energy. So did it help her, or she only been on it for a short period? Let me get some more of my. Let me be rude and chew on my little Rice Krispie, I don't know, fried rice thingies that my wife got me. It's actually pretty good. It's got peanuts and shit in it. But I don't know. I figured, what the hell? I'll be a guinea pig. I'll let you guys know when I decide, and at least you'll know you'll get a a true deal on it, on what I think of it. Like the other ones, that one for the circulation and the neuropathy and all that in my feet. Nah, I didn't see it. They sent me on. They kind of screwed me on the automatic deal by the time I canceled, but they let me send it back and they're gonna give me my money back. So, but I don't know. I took one bottle full, which was a month. In the beginning, I thought I noticed a little bit of something, but no. So I should turn my microphone off while I chew on this stuff. I'm not very. Where the hell? Well, I know they did this the other day too, but it's supposed to be wide open all day, no rain. No. She didn't take it while we were in. Okay. No way. I will try a poison. My mom. Natural acts. Yeah, I agree. But I don't know, man. I don't think anybody knows. There's all sorts of shit that are probably right under our nose that could probably cure cancer and do this and that. I'm just talking about a weed, a bush, flower, or something. But we just haven't quite found it yet. Doesn't let you into the studio. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about that methylene blue. Hold on. It says, okay. Oh, invite. Copy. Sorry. I kicked the other thing out. Now let me go to the share screen. Am I going to get it back? Windows. Yeah, there it is. Share. Okay. So anyway, I'm eating. I'm horrible. Sorry, guys. Gals. Let's see on the other picture. See if they hide this. Let me see if they well, they moved my truck. I guess they're gonna roll it over the frickin' concrete. I thought they weren't gonna do that. Huh. All right. I guess they figure it's dry enough now. I don't know. My buddy that's a concrete guy said uh 5 weeks or something, 21 days something for it to be 100% cured. But I don't know. We'll see, I guess. But I didn't see where. John, I missed it again. Hold on. Let me go to here. Go to here. Come on. Where is it? Why isn't it work? Oh, because I'm on the screen. What a moron I am. Hold on. Ah. Okay. Let me try this. Let me try this again. I'm a freaking moron. Um, this one. So they would be coming down that road up there. That's the guy's truck. And like I said, man, he's here all the time. I think Mitch is here. Hold on, let me switch over here. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay. Cool. Now I'll go over to chat so I can read comments. Okay. This is easy because I'm like My face is 3 inches from my phone. I'm face down. I got about 2 hours sleep last night. I was doing some work on my phone, moving pictures and organizing some shit. But anyway, how's everybody doing this morning? Yeah,
Probably.
this sucks laying down face down.
When does that change?
When I stand up. No.
Coming up, right? Another week or something?
Yeah, she's on. When I went, my last appointment, I think, was the 9th. She said 2 to 4 weeks. My nitrogen bubble should be gone. At that point, I should be able to look, like be face up and sleep any way I want and work on my computer and stuff like that.
Cool.
But the bubble, I can see the bubble. Okay, picture the balloon, right? The damaged retina. They make the correction, the attachment of the retina, and then they inject nitrogen gas into your eyeball like a balloon.
Right.
100% fill. And then so when I went for my first follow-up, it was down to 75% because it absorbs. It absorbs into your body. And then the second follow-up, it was down to 40%. At that point, I'm allowed to sleep on my side, but if I walk or look at my phone, I have to be face down. So
what are you, bent at the waist when you're walking?
Say that again.
You're bent at the waist when you're walking.
No,
how do you stand up? I fall over.
Oh shit! It's rough. No, like my chin's on my chest. You know what I mean?
And are you bent forward, or you just have your chin in your chest?
I lean a little forward, and I put my chin on my chest, so it's awkward, very awkward. But it's basically to keep that bubble. No, you wouldn't rather be blind.
No, I would probably be. I probably would have went like one day. You got to sleep like this? No, I'll take the blindness. Let's go. I don't know. I probably wouldn't. I don't know. I'm just, I have retina problems of some sort. I went in. She showed me all these. There's a dip here, and you're supposed to have an upward deal, and a vein isn't supposed to be bigger than an artery, and blah blah blah. And I'm going, lady, you could sit here all day and talk this shit to me. What do I need to do? She was really a nice lady. My doctor sent me to her, and she scheduled me with a specialist. And she said, "There's, then after I see the specialist, they'll let me know what they're due. But it's not detached or anything. It's just injured. I don't know." She said they could put a shot in it. They could do a bunch. I go, "Oh crap, that's all I need." I'm freaking out already. Needles in my eyes. I don't digest very well.
They knock you out.
Yeah, do they? Yeah, they'd have to knock me out.
Oh, dude, man! if you guys want to hear some babble, I'll tell you about my surgery. A little different than in the U.S.
Yeah.
Okay, picture when you've had major surgery in the United States. They lay you on the surgical bed you're in the theater, right? The surgical theater, they call it. Right. And you're laid out, and if it's not a broken arm or some kind of shit like that, they lay you out like you're being crucified, right?
Right.
They lay your arms out straight out on either side like a cross, and you got an IV in one arm and an IV in the other for backup. You got a blood pressure cuff that automatically cycles, and they tape your arms down, right?
Right.
So that's normal. I'm used to that because I've had so many bloody surgeries. So
that's exactly what they did for my knees, just what you said.
So I go in, and of course they're 99.9% non-English speaking, and I'm 99.9% non-Thai speaking. So I go in there, and usually the anesthesiologist will come before you go to surgery. They'll ask, "Hi, I'm your anesthesiologist," blah blah blah, and they'll talk to you. And okay, great. And then they'll give you a little. Your IV will already be in, but in that little Y, at the little short tube where they give the milk of amnesia,
Right.
you've got your saline going, and then they have the other part where they put whatever else they need to put in. So they usually give you a little bit of like happy drug, to make you like not give a shit, calm you down. And they said, this will help you relax and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, man, this is great. You could stick that cucumber up my arse if you want. I don't care, that kind of a feeling. I'm sorry. Anyway, so they wheel me back. It was supposed to be 10 a.m., but they wheel me back at 3:30 p.m. So I hadn't had anything to eat or drink since 6 a.m. And since I say, shit, my thing's at 10, I'm just gonna swallow my morning meds and I'm good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I'm not hungry in the morning. So anyway, long story short, they wheel me into the surgical room. And then instead of like 4 people grabbing the blanket and lifting you over, they had like 10 putting me onto the surgical bed. And then I'm already leaning my neck back and sticking my jaw out, because when they stick that, I don't know what it's called, when they put that thing in there, your airway to slide the tube down in, which I know you don't like.
No.
But I don't want them to like rub up against my throat, and then when I wake up, I have a sore throat. So I'm like, I position my jaw and everything like I'm a professional patient, and so I do that, and then somebody said, "Oh, we're not ready yet. Don't worry." And I said, "Okay," and no happy drug, right? None of that shit. Just saline at this point. And I kind of trying to look. They got me comfortable pillow wise and shit under my neck, and I'm looking over to my left as best I could because that's my good eye, and I don't see an armrest out there, and I can still see out of my right eye, but there's like a big bubble in there that's kind of floater, and I don't see anything on the right, and I'm going, maybe they'll swing them out in a minute, Next thing I know, my hands are at my side, right?
Right.
Sides, both sides. And the 2 guys start wrapping that blanket around me like a cocoon.
Right.
And I'm like, well, this is different. And I'm claustrophobic and I get a little anxious at times.
Right.
So I'm like, what the fuck, man? And I'm kind of trying to look down, and I see my left hand sticking out because that's where the IV was coming out, the top of my hand. And on the right side, I see the blood pressure cuff tube coming out. That's it. And I hear fucking like duct tape, taping me up like a mummy. And I said at out loud, normal voice, holy shit. If this wasn't so fucking comical, I'd be on a full on anxiety attack. And they go, what? And I go, oh, never mind. and then he sticks the mask over my face and says, okay, start taking deep breaths. And I goes, You're not even gonna like tell me to count down or nothing. What? And I said, never mind. I said, you're just gonna sneak up on me. And I said, because I always say, always, because I've had so many surgeries. I said, hey, thank you for all you've done to help me.
Right.
And now, right, yeah, no, yeah, our pleasure, man. That's what we're here for. And then I say, see ya on the other side. And then I'm waking
Right.
up in recovery. I don't go 10, 9, or 100, 99, 98. None of that shit. I'm like, all right, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Blah, blah, blah. See you on the other side. But I said, oh, you're going to sneak up on me, huh? He said, what? I said, never mind. And I just started taking deep breaths. Next thing you know, I hear, Meech, Meech, Meech. And I'm waking up in fucking recovery.
Oh, man.
Are you in any pain?
Me?
I
Or
said,
you?
me. They asked me that. I said, yes.
Yeah, that's
It
always my
feels like someone's trying to dig my eye out with a fork. Okay, I give morphine. So she shoots it was already pre-filled. Boom, morphine. And she walks away and comes back about 15 minutes later, like with a smile. Are you okay now? And I said, no, I don't. It didn't do a thing.
Give me more.
Yeah. And I'm normally like, yeah, I'm good. Rough it, try to be stoic.
Right.
And I always save my pain pills they give me for like if I have a kidney stone and I'm on a freaking remote island and I'm 4 hours
Right.
away from help. So
Yeah, I always like that. I like to have
I'm always
backup.
I'm a pain pill hoarder. So, and they don't expire if you keep them cool and dry, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they'll
But
last a long time.
long ass time. Anyway, so she ends up over the next
Hey, Jay, how
45
you doing?
minutes giving me I can't read, guys, so sorry.
Jay's in Andy, Randy. How you guys doing? We're just sitting
Oh,
here
if I see
bullshit.
way back, I can go Jay-Z, Andy, Randy, Gator, Jake, Meat, Ron, John, hello.
Is Ron there? I didn't see Ron. I didn't go back that far.
Yeah,
But
you
we'll
need.
get
Did you have surgery too? No. Anyway, so she comes back, um, and gives me a third one, and then she
Oh,
comes
really?
back like 30 minutes later, and she's like happy, chipper, like oh he's gonna be fine now.
Right.
How you feeling? And I said, it still hurts. And I says, this is crazy. I says, is my IV good? And I'm like, I should be like wasted, and yeah, it's still dripping and taking it and everything. And I said, I need another shot. And she said, I can't give you any more. That's the maximum we can give you. And I said, oh my God, please call the doctor. Well, or please get the doctor. And she said, the doctor's already home. And I said, I don't care. I mean, I'm a good patient. I don't swear at them and yell or nothing. But I said, I
Right.
don't care. Please call the doctor. And so I hear their conversation. Chai. And then she says, okay, I'm giving you a fourth one, but that's all I can give you. And she gives me the fourth one. And then she comes back like 30, 35 minutes because there's a clock right there. I'm looking at it. I'm going, dude, I ain't feeling shit, man. What the
Really?
hell? Yeah. And I said, please call the doctor again. And so she did. And the doctor was like yelling at her, At least I could hear her from across the room through the phone. And then she said, okay, this is it. And she gives me a fifth one. And she comes back
Wow.
15 minutes later. And I'm like, yeah.
I wonder what the deal was. That's a lot of morphine.
Dude, I just think it was slow uptake on my part. My metabolism wasn't, I
Either
mean, it
that or
goes right in your bloodstream. It
somebody
should have.
stealing
It
the
would have knocked
morphine.
out a freaking lion on a freaking
That's what I'm
rhino on
saying.
the savannah.
Well, maybe somebody there is stealing the fucking morphine and putting something else in it. What did I say? F? I
It
did.
could have been. Could have been. They said I kept saying Yaba. Yaba. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I was like, great at that point. They
Right.
wheel me back to my room, and then I spent the night there, right?
Right.
And in the morning, you want any bread? No, I don't want. I don't want any food. They give you a a piece of paper. Here's what we got, right? You can check the boxes. Oh, I want OJ coffee. I'll have the eggs, whatever.
Right.
And I said, no, I'm not hungry. And the same with dinner that night. They go, do you want dinner or are you going to order out?
Order.
So I had Dow go down to the street because there's all those carts, just like in Patia outside near the hospital. There's, vendors
Right.
and lots of customers. And so I got some pot kapow guy, with egg on top, kai dao,
Right.
and but no spice because I'm like I just had surgery. I didn't want to risk it. But so she brings me back dinner. I eat a little bit of it, but mostly I'm drinking water, But
Right.
then the morning comes, which was the 2nd of May, and okay, it's checkout day, right? So over the course of a few hours, they're coming in and doing vitals and asking me different questions and having me explaining shit and signing paperwork. And then she starts giving me my pills. Okay, this one is for this. Take it 3 times a day. You have to eat first, and you can decipher it. It's in Thai, but you can see a 1 and then blah 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 blah, and then a 3. So that tells me 1 3 times a day.
Right.
And then she says, yes, she says it in English, but I'm writing it with right on the label. 1 3 times daily after meals. And then the other one was 4 times a day. The other one was 2 times a day. And then the drops were 3 times a day. 2 different drops. So 1 drop, and then 2 drops of the other one 3 times a day. And then at night of antibiotic ointment. Okay, so I had it all down. But and we drive back to I was going to say Pattaya, but Chiang Rai,
Mhm.
and I freaking wake up on the 3rd, and I'm like, what am I? I'm supposed to sleep 6 hours face down, and then I can be up, and then all this kind of shit. And I was like totally. It was obviously the morphine. I was totally freaking confused. So I said, "Call the doctor." So she calls the doctor, got the nurse, and the nurse said, "No, no, 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 no. Face down, 24-hour a day. You can only get up."
Hmm.
I'm gonna be blunt. To take my medications, but I have to be face down. But you have to look up in the sky to put your drops in. But so anyway, to eat, shit, or shower. But I can only shower from the neck down because she said, you cannot get our water in your eye. You will go blind. Her English was perfect.
Yeah. Hey,
And
Ron, how you doing?
I'm like, okay. Yeah. So, yeah. So I was totally whacked. I had everything wrong. I mean, I read what I wrote on it and it was correct, but I was like, wait a minute now. 1-3 times a day. What? I was getting confused, and it was like a morphine hangover, big time. So, but finally got it dialed in, and I'm not a belly sleeper. I mean, picture a
I
beach ball
am, so I
taped to
probably
your
would have been all right. I probably would have been. Cause that's how I sleep anyway, on my side.
literally face down, like completely flat.
No, no, with my head to the side, but flat
But
on my stomach. Flat on my stomach.
dang, I just can't do it, man. I can't do it. So I'm
Makes
like
breathing a
propped
little harder.
every which way that I could get propped up with pillows. And one time since surgery, I woke up face down. For the rest
Oh,
of the
really?
time, yeah. One morning, I woke up in my eye patch or eye cover. It looks like a cup for your jock strap, but small with
Right.
holes in it. Appropriate size for me or Daz. But anyway, that son of a bitch was across the room. I had pillows on the floor, pillows against the other wall, and I was face up. It looked like I had a Brazilian jiu-jitsu match in my fucking bed, and I got my ass kicked. I mean, I was obviously thrashing. Hey, Tommy. Yeah. So I can visually see looking down. I can see my nitrogen bubble getting smaller. Okay. It actually resembles a contact lens tinted suspended in front of my eye. That's how it looks like to me. That's the best explanation I can say. But when I move my head, it jiggles around like a bubble of water. And when I look like I'm doing now, I'm looking straight out. I can see everything in front of me. It's just
Well, that's
blurry.
good, right? That's good
Hell
that you
yeah, dude. Because I can see all the way around the perimeter. And then outside of the perimeter of that bubble, I see everything out there. So I haven't lost like a section or of vision. It's weird. Now last night I started noticing like streaks and like that's like when sun's shining through the clouds kind of streaks. And that's just light refraction coming in from different angles.
That's a
I
good thing,
deduced.
or
Yeah, that's normal. That's normal. I saw some red on the side from like the 12 o'clock position down to the like 6, 7 o'clock position. And I'm like, holy shit. This is after I fell at Big C, on the escalator. Um, in case anybody doesn't know, I'll tell that story too. But I'm not supposed to do when they finally she gave me approval to walk after I got to 40%, but I got to be face down, and she said very, very, very slowly, and not a long distance. And that's like, God dang, man.
yeah,
Walking through.
Jay's asking a question and saying, and I believe it does disappears. Mitch, does the nitrogen bubble ultimately disappear, or is it require the doctor to remove it?
It naturally absorbs. Picture if anybody's familiar with scuba diving, when you go deep, right? Like, you get down to depth and you got to make safety stops on the way up. That's because the nitrogen has to um, absorb or dissipate into your body. Otherwise, it'll sit in your joints and expand. That's the same thing my nitrogen did when I went over the mountain. It felt like someone was stabbing me with an ice pick
Yeah.
when I went back for my first follow up. So yeah, it naturally absorbs into your body, and so 100% balloon. Now I'm down to I'm guessing about 30% now, because she said in 2 to 4 weeks it should be gone, and you're the judge, me, of when it's gone. So it's just going to continue to get smaller and smaller and smaller, and then I'm not going to see it. And then I'm going to be like, okay, I can edit a video on my computer. Now, I'm only getting, at
Hey, Paul.
best, she said pre-surgery was 20% of my vision back. Okay. So
Right.
I've lost like 80%. You could use it to, you know, the cup is half full or half empty, however you want to look at it. But so I'm going to have to get, but it's correctable with my glasses, but only to a certain extent because everything changes. So it's like they may not be able to get you 20/20 with lenses. Maybe get 20/60, maybe 20/40. But keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And so then I asked her about artificial lenses like Tim Newton has, right? Progressive artificial lenses. Like my glasses are progressive, reading on the bottom, and then as it goes up, it goes out to further out distance.
Right.
So, but with artificial lenses, when they manufacture them, when they CNC them or however they do them, they can do more than with a plastic lens. They can make more corrections with the computer, on how it's doing it. Um, but that's six months down, or even a year down the road before I even consider that. First thing I'm gonna do is once I'm allowed, I'll have new lenses put in. So, but like I can look across my room. Okay, I'm gonna actually do it. So you get I'm closing my good eye and I'm looking with my right eye. I can actually make out my refrigerator 15 feet away, and on my magnetic whiteboard on the side, and where I write down my notes. Do this, do that, and I can make that out. I can make out my wall fan, but they're blurry. So I'm hoping that that's correctable.
Right.
But when I put my glasses on, normally when you put someone else's glasses on, you get that weird ass feeling. So I put mine on, and it's obviously not the right prescription for my right eye. It doesn't do shit. I don't feel any different. Doesn't look any different, any clearer, any blurrier, nothing. It's just the same. So they're definitely going to have Coke bottle glasses, that's for sure, on the right side. Randy, I see. Okay, now get this. Now, I'm not wearing my glasses, so my phone is blurry, right? With my left eye, my phone is blurry. I'm like 5 inches away. But my bubble, right? If I get right up on, like my nose is almost touching my phone, I can read the comments.
Oh,
Randy
really?
says, yeah, I'll be more than happy to drag your ass around Bangkok at JEZ. I owe you. I can read that when I'm like nose away through the bubble. Isn't that weird?
Hmm.
It's like 2-2. What you see in 2 inches, I see in 2 inches. But anyway, I babble enough. You can. Sure, that's not Down sister. I'm missing. Okay, so
Uh,
I might as well keep blabbing,
Go
so
ahead.
you can save your voice and energy, because you need to get better. Okay, I love you, brother. Okay, I
Yeah,
don't like
brother.
it when you're sick.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I get angry. No, I'm just kidding. No, but
Let's see.
so I'm not supposed to bounce around, climb stairs, lift any heavy objects until my nitrogen is completely gone. And then she checks, and it's fully, the retina is fully part of my body now again, okay? What little was left, whatever surviving retina was viable, she said. And once it's healed, okay, I can start exercising again, gradually bringing it in and upping it, right? But like I can't do my punching bag. Um I can't do jumping jacks or squat thrusts, and I had to cancel the marathon. I didn't even get my entry money back. I mean, I'm pissed. Um, I'm full of shit, right? But so I can't do any bouncing around, right? Be real careful. Like every one of us has stumbled on those 1-inch ups or downs in restaurants and hotels and shit. And it's like, damn, or your bathroom. Oh, I forgot that was there. And you're just stepping down 1 inch, but you're not expecting it. So you kind of stumble-ish.
Right.
Well, don't do anything, right? I'm like, okay. And make sure you're face down and keep your eye open, because unconsciously I close my right eye. It's just like, fuck, I'm looking at bubbles wobble around. It gives me kind of weird depth perception and shit. So anyway, on the 9th, we went up to Chiang Rai to my orthopedic guy to check on my shoulder injury I had, right?
Right.
And even though I had missed so much therapy because of travel and then having to lay face down for a month and not do anything, so basically 2 months of no therapy. And he said, the tear is bad, but not so severe. It will heal itself with proper physical therapy. So then I go back up to him and then I say, well, I'm expecting to get the riot act. And I said, I didn't do any therapy because of this and this and for 2 months. And he says, that's okay. We did the range of motion and everything. And all that was good. I can feel ache when I got to full extension in certain areas, but he says, I think you're good. I don't think we even need to consider surgery. He says, but continue your physical therapy until your eye doctor releases you for more stuff, and then start bringing in, weights and stuff, right?
Right.
Dumbbells and light weights. So I say, okay, great. So I'm all happy. Yeehaw. And I'm happy because I can walk around, even though it's face down, dude. I'm like, I'm not attached to the bed. So I'm like really stoked. I know it doesn't take much to fucking entertain me, but so with Dow's sister, Dow, and me, we went to the hospital, and then of course they're hungry, so we ate at the hospital. Well, they ate at the hospital, and in the cafeteria, and they said it was pretty good. I wasn't hungry, and then we went to Big C because it's a big C, and there's no Big C where I live. And I said, I want to look around. Okay, so they first thing they do is go to the bathroom. And then they're looking for shoes for her sister. They find some shoes. She bought some shoes. And then I say, okay, let's go upstairs, man. We're done. I says, what? I got permission to walk around, man. I want to go look around Big C. I don't care if I'm looking at the tiles. I want to walk around and, smell stuff and kind of look up with my left eye a little bit. And they're like, okay, So we get to the elevator and I'm giving the motion with my hand, go ahead. And they're like, no, you go. Because they're all paranoid about my eye. Oh my God, don't fall and all this kind of shit. Because I played it up a little bit, right? I'm walking across the parking lot and I grabbed her sister's arm and I'm like I'm gonna fall down and shit. So she's like, oh, here, I help you, I'm just fucking with her, you know.
Right.
I'm fine. But we're going up the escalator and they're behind me, just one step down. And I turned around and I said, wow, the view's a lot better from up here, you know. Chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. And they laughed and said something. Dow said something. I said something back. Well, me and my great wisdom, I completely forgot I was on an escalator going backwards. And you'll never guess what happened when I got to the top. Fuck, dude. I went down
Really?
like a lard of shit, man. Boom. I mean, my feet were the fulcrum and my elbow was the end of it. So I caught myself on my left elbow. So like that 1 square inch of elbow caught my body. So figure out how many PSI that was. But that aluminum plate that was screwed to the floor, you know, the traction at the top of the escalator, it sounded like 2 cars in a head-on collision. And instantly there was a half a dozen employees on me, and Dow and her sister, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? Trying to lift me up. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I get myself up. I'm fine. I
Yeah.
wanted
See,
to grab the rail that I could see to my left.
if you were in
And
the States, there would have been nobody helping you except for an attorney that was running towards you to tell you
yeah,
not to move. Do not
Saul
move.
Goodman. Saul Goodman would have been
Lay
saying,
there. Do
hey,
not move.
man, yeah, your neck
That's a
hurts,
different.
right? No, here, take this neck brace. We better put a leg brace. Exactly. So I got myself up and I'm taking mental stock, you know, of what, you know, what's broken or not. But my left arm, my left elbow is connected to the left humerus bone, which is connected to my left shoulder, which is the one I just got. Oh, you're good to go. It freaking lit up like a Christmas tree, the pain. And while the pain in my shoulder is going, oh my God, that fucking hurts, I'm thinking about my retinal. Oh shit. I'm not supposed to be moving around, jumping around. So I'm like closing my left eye, looking out, going, oh, and you know, am I fucked? Basically, pardon the language. But there was at least 50 people. Like E.F. Hutton was talking, and everybody stopped. They were all
Right.
looking at me from all these little different kiosks. Were looking at me, staring at me, with their jaws dropped. And then the 6 ladies, nice ladies. So sit down, please, sir, please. I'm fine. I'm fine. I wasn't paying attention. I just fall down. And then can we take you to first aid? We take you to first aid, you know. And I mean, like, they obviously saw the video of the lady in Bangkok that got her foot stuck in the freaking escalator. But I just wanted to get out of the humiliation, embarrassment zone, man. I just wanted to get the fuck out of there. You know what I mean? I was like, Jesus. So I went, as soon as I got him to quit asking me, I got into the store and hung the first left. Just happened to be down suitcases and shit. And I leaned up against the column and then I just started jacking my arm around and twisting my arm around, my shoulder around and pushing, making sure there's no bone chips, no nothing, doing my full like PT stretches and shit. And I'm going, damn. Fucking dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, no shit.
But yeah, I tell you what, man. Next morning though, it was sore. But I can do my PT, my rubber band thingies, you know. And then next Monday, this coming Monday, I actually start full-time PT again, 3 times a week. So in 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, this bubble should be gone. And then I'm able to start moving forward. I can fly at that point. I can drive at that point.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Once that bubble's gone and my retina's like healed, I can drive. I may have to put I have patch. I bought eye patches off Lacida, you know.
Right.
But
That screen. What is Ron saying? Dave, that screen is what MMCs. I don't understand. What does that mean, brother? You lost me.
I saw it.
For,
That screen is what MMCs.
I don't know.
So did you highlight that comment?
No,
Is
you
that
know it
why?
doesn't. Yeah, yes, you know it'll let me put it. You can see it, right? If
Yeah.
remember
It's like
that
it
feature
like
that
bolds it.
shows comments on the stage. That's went away. I don't know how many people I can have in a thing, but I was paying like $50 a month. I said, hell, man, I could go on a nice vacation saving that up each year.
So
You know,
$50 a month for what? To
for
do
my
what?
because I had all the good shit. See, now I've got a little quacky duck up in the corner. I don't have my logo. I just got the basic deal now.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no 1080, no nothing. But I think it was 50
Yeah,
bucks a
this is
month.
great.
Yeah, there's
This is
nothing
great.
about. Yeah,
I
I
mean, you
said
can
forget it.
have you can obviously have me on the screen.
I think I could still have like 6 people. I think I could
My
still do that. But
avatar is not centered on the thingy. I don't understand why that happened, but let me
you know,
hit the X.
does this get any bigger when I do it? The picture of the garage, does it get bigger when I do that?
Okay, let me X out of comments and let me look at the picture.
Or it could be somebody else that can. Well, I guess they can talk. Did
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
get
but
bigger? Does it get bigger, or is that the same?
okay, so I'm just seeing it now for the first time, so I don't
Okay,
know.
I'm gonna click the button and put it full screen on my computer. Here it goes right now. Now it's my full screen on my computer, but I don't know if it makes a difference on there because
Right now I'm just seeing white.
white. Okay, so there, but now you're back to
Now I'm back
regular.
to I
Okay.
see your garage and then I see some
And
images on the side.
I'm zooming in. This one
Yeah,
isn't
I
a
can
pan.
see.
This one isn't a
Okay.
pan and tilt camper. So I'm going to get another one put up on this eave right here on the right side so that I can
Uh-huh.
look out front and I look down at my my quarantine tank. And then I think I might I haven't decided yet. I got to get a price on it. I might put one inside, but I don't really see any reason to have one inside. But you never know. I just texted my wife saying, no concrete. You know, the concrete truck that was supposed to be here at 8 o'clock. She hates it when I bust her stones. And I don't blame her because the poor woman, you know, she works a full-time job. Then she's got to put up with me. Well, this guy didn't show. What the hell's happening with this? Well, this guy said that he was going to do it. What the? And the poor
Dude,
woman,
I'm
she
high
wants to
maintenance
kill me.
like that.
Yeah, she wants to
He's
kill me.
in here. He's in a
Yeah, but
freaking
then, you
pod.
know,
I'm
I
like,
told her, I said, let me get, you know, a
oh, look at
nice
that. Split
20,
screen. That's cool.
yeah, 23-year-old, you know, Thai woman to just be my companion to just, you know, only translate, not do anything else sexually, just translate. Well, that didn't go over very well. But no, I would never say that to
Well,
her.
I'm always talking about extra wives.
Yeah, this one, see that? Boy, it's bright out there. It's a nice day today here. I'm
Yeah, I
actually,
don't it's
it's,
sunny here, yeah. I don't know
I
what.
can't, I can't wait to do the all the stuff that I'm going to do with the to test the uh, to test the um, solar, but
Uh-huh.
with the pond running full blast, just the stuff
Right.
on light stuff. My air conditioner, although I ran my air conditioner at like 27 degrees all night long. I left it run all night long, and I came. Well, I went out there this morning, even though I was sick, and check. I had to change the water in that quarantine tank. My 200 amp hour of batteries was at 61%. So that means that this room with the air conditioner running and going, and the pond, it ran 10, 12 hours, didn't even hit 50%. Because the way that I've got it set up is it looks at the solar panels first. If there's no power there, it goes to the batteries. It'll run the batteries down to the percentage that I set it at. Once it gets to that, then it goes to the grid. So it never
Huh.
went to the grid. It never did anything. So it's going to power up my garage. Hopefully the 2-bedroom mom and dad pad that's going to be right where that black tarp and all this stuff here is going to be. And all that for nothing. Then it's only going to be me and my wife in the house with 13
Oh,
kW
God.
of solar. So hopefully I'm going to get down to where I can get on here and say my bill was 0 last month. So we'll see. Let's see.
Escalator engine. Still waiting for. Oh yeah, that's probably been recorded over. I didn't go back and ask, but I just read Ron John's comment. When you have to
What
keep your
Randy
head
said,
down,
it was supposed to be at 8 o'clock this morning. Right? That's why I scheduled it for 8:30.
makes sense to go backwards so you look down on the way up. Just like that. That struck me funny. God dang.
Now they're moving towards the front. Let me look and see on that
Let
front
me
shot.
close comments so I can see the house. Okay, let me talk. Speaking of houses and garages and such, okay. Yesterday I spent a very long time cleaning, organizing my phone so I can move pictures off my phone to the computer so I can actually edit some videos, right?
Right.
When I'm able to look up. So I'm going through pictures and in court I said, "Huh, what's this?" I'm sitting down on the sofa with my face down, so my phone's at my belly, and I'm going, "Who's this? Who are these people?" And there's a few women and a guy, and they're sitting on a bench, a big square, whatever you call them. Didn't have a roof, so it's not a sala or whatever, but one of them things where you can take a break or whatever. And I don't know. And then I flip the next picture. It shows like an eave, and then there's some tile that's being laid. And whose house is that? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not seeing enough, right, to see what it is. And a couple of pictures and some couple of pictures of strange women, and not strange and strange, but different women, right?
Right.
And she's starting to get a case of the ass, and then I went, oh, that's pictures of Dave's house build, for crying out loud. I was like, oh
Well,
my
my
God,
my wife
that's
just
how.
sent me back saying they already called me. They
Uh-huh.
will come. They will come. I always get that. They will come. That's it. Now, if somebody's told me that, when? And
Yeah,
then the next Thai response will be soon. Ah, okay.
oh,
All right.
okay.
Now the cloud is completely gone. I know exactly what the F is going on. I know
Yeah,
exactly
I
when
know
they're going to be
exactly.
here. Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
And then after
com-
that, then she started to get upset. Well, what do you want me to do? I said, ask them when. Not soon. That's not an answer.
yeah,
Soon
I'm
could be
always
5 o'clock
saying
tonight. It's all
complete
relative,
the
right?
circle. Complete the circle. I used to bitch at my guys all the time.
Ugh,
Did
but
you call?
anyway.
I said, I need you to call so and so for that part because such so and so needs such and such because
Mhm.
he's showing up at 8 on that job and he needs it. So there's no
Yeah, but the
sense in
good
them
thing,
going there.
the good
I'll
thing
send him
about
somewhere else.
being the guys and not my wife is that I could slap the shit out of them, and they could just file charges if they wanted to, and then they get beat worse. But
Yeah, I
I'm
could
just kidding.
bark. I could bark. I couldn't hit them because they'd sue me,
Yeah,
And
no,
one of them
exactly.
was my
I
freaking
never did.
cousin.
I never,
So
I came. It almost came to blows one time, and I had like at one point 80, 85 guys.
yeah, I
And
never was that that
Yeah,
much. No.
if anybody knows about tin knockers and especially sheet metal guys, not so much AC guys, but kinda, 90% of them are alcoholics. Okay, and they try to do their best. They're functioning. Most of them functioning alcoholics. They'll drink at 5 o'clock when they get home. They'll pass out at 11, and they'll wake up at 5:30 and go to work. But most sometimes, like you're saying,
Yeah, they'd
they
be
don't
reeking.
show.
They'd be reeking.
Yeah, oh yeah,
It smelled like a distillery.
yeah. An
And the
actual time
and the,
measurement would be
the
fantastic. Me, that's
let
what I
me
say.
let me go to chat.
Yeah,
The
roofers the kind of same. I would have to agree with you on that front.
yeah, sheet rockers were always getting stoned.
Yeah.
The rod busters were assholes. We're always assholes, pricks. I was one once. My brother was one once. That we grew up in the iron and steel business, the women iron and the men steel.
Well,
But
the one gal that I dated a bunch of dancers, but one in particular, I spent quite a bit of time until I got shot at and um, woke up the morning to broken windows and glass and shit. And I come
oh,
to find out, just to make a long story short, come to find out it was a woman. It wasn't a dude. It was a gal that was in love with her. But anyway, she's all the construction workers would do speed, of some sort, right? And just speed it out all weekend. And they would come at like frickin' midnight on Sunday because she sold Quaaludes. So they would come, take the Quaaludes so that they could go to sleep, and knocking at the door. And I got into a couple of beefs there, going, she's screaming at me because she wants to make the sales. And I'm going, I'll give you the frickin' money. Get out of here. I want to go to sleep. So, needless to say, after the gunshot and the track down on who it was and the stuff that incurred after that, I didn't see her much after that. So, but but most of the construction workers are partiers for the most part. If you go, if you got a rain out day somewhere, where are they all at? They're at the topless bars, right? At least they were
yeah,
in
yeah.
Southern California. 90% of them were, out shooting pool and getting drunk at, noon or 10 o'clock in the morning.
In Washington, they work in the rain.
Yeah, that freaked me out when I went to what is it?
Puyallup.
Puyallup.
Yeah,
And
Puyallup.
I told you that story about the guy that was working. And we went up there. I sent up a company in 5 days. All the permits, all the stuff had it in my name, had insurance and contractor's license, everything in 5 days. There
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
enough money to do it, but first morning we got up, he was going to take me out to the job site, and I look out and I go, it's raining, man. He goes, that ain't rain. If we didn't work in this, we wouldn't work at all. And I went
That's
out there,
right.
turned up, and they'd be working, and then all of a sudden, one day the sun would pop through like it is now, and all you saw was for miles and miles and miles a line of concrete trucks just coming in, and they poured foundation after foundation after foundation. The next day it started drizzling again, and they go back to work. But yeah, he flat out told me if we didn't work in this, we wouldn't work at all, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
like.
comment to Randy real quick.
Go
He
ahead.
said, nice short photo collage videos. Let me tell you about those videos. My phone generates them. Google Photos will generate memories or stories or whatever, and Samsung Gallery will generate, memory of the day or similar images or blue skies or whatever. And it'll throw it'll offer me up this video. And when it comes up, you got about 3 seconds and you hit this little arrow on the bottom of the screen that disappears. And then the music still plays, but it shows you all the pictures in the video, right? And so what I've been doing is taking that boilerplate and it has a plus on the top. So I can say plus, and I put like all my flowers. Boom, 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 boom. Plus, 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 plus. And then I deleted their choices. I can't pick a thumbnail. I can't pick the ending one. It's still random. But you can pick the music. Once the video starts playing, there's a little icon down on the bottom of a musical note in a circle, and you can hit that. And then on the bottom, it comes up a bunch of little squares: happy, relaxing, sentimental, blah 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 blah. All these different choices, and I go, "Oh, I'll try this one. Oh no, try that one." And then I go, "Oh no, I'll go back to the original." And the original has changed because they rotate out as well. So, but I've been just like, screw it, that's good enough, and I put it out. I put a title on it. So if you notice, the title will be there, but then underneath it there'll be a date range. You can barely see it because it's underneath my name when it first starts, but it'll say from such and such 2022 to such and such 2025 pictures. You know, so like
Right.
the pictures that were my flowers from my house, I took them off of a boilerplate that was like 2023 pictures. You know what I mean? When I
Right.
wasn't even in the States in I didn't own that house in 2023. I sold it in 21. So,
How long you been here now?
uh, what
5?
month is it now? August will be 4.
August will be 4. Wow. Time
Jesus,
flies.
man.
It's going to be 7 years for me in November.
Yeah, it'll probably be another 7 before I get to Surin, because Bobby lives there too. So,
I'll be, I'll be dead by then.
I better fly as soon as I can. I'll fly to
I'm
how
kind
many
of,
how many motorcycles how many motorcycles do you have?
I got a bunch. I got the Shadow. I've got the Forza. I've got the 125 CT Trail 125. I've got the Scoopy. I got a lot of them. You know what I really want to ride the Shadow. I like that. I want to see how it runs. I'm going to take I'll probably go Chuck's way as a first deal. I would go if Aaron was here. I would go that way because it's only 2.5 hours, and Chuck's is 5. But
Uh-huh.
I want to take a run. It's an overnight thing, shakedown, and I'm trying to get Andrew. He's kind of said that he'd be up for that. He got a new adventure type bike. I think a Honda 500C something. I don't know. I think
Yeah,
kind of
probably
like
the
yeah, it's a
CX
nice bike.
500.
Comes with all the bags and everything, and
Oh wow.
looks nice. Yeah, comes with it was nice.
Yeah, that's
But
what I'm thinking. Big enough for me.
I don't
I
know,
don't
man.
need.
I've been jonesing. The Forza's been sitting there. Battery's been dead for probably a month or two. I haven't ridden it in 3, so I'm gonna go. I think I've been feeling like crap. I do have some
I
work I
hear
need to
you.
do on the front pond. We bought some big fish, 50, 53, 54 centimeters, 2 foot long. And
Wow.
I've got some in that quarantine tank, and 2 of the real big ones. I asked them if they could hold on to it for a couple of weeks. I'm going to take out of that. I'm going to redo that front pond that's between my kitchen and my front stoop going into the house,
Uh-huh.
and put 5 or 6 of them in there, big fish. So I want to redo the filtration and a bunch of other stuff on it. So I got the stuff to do it. I just haven't, especially being sick. I
Every time
felt
I
like
see koi on a trip, I take pictures and think about you.
I love my fish, man.
You
I'll tell
gotta
you
you
what,
gotta see them, man. I have so many freaking. I should
there's
do
nothing
that. I
more
should take one of
relaxing.
them things and put a bunch. But they're videos. But
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll make them into just stills.
yeah, I'm sure
But
they
see,
will.
they're portrait mode. Those
Yeah,
one
yeah,
automatically generated ones are in portrait mode, so it cuts off
right.
my landscape pictures. But I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
care at this point. I'm blind. You know what I mean? I can't. I mean,
In
my
fact,
eyes
I think
aches.
Chuck
Yeah.
should be back by now. But the only thing about now is it's rainy season, so not that worries me too much. I mean, I don't like I said. I mean, I've ridden in some shit you wouldn't believe, but to ride in. Oh, look, it's
Thanks,
raining, and
thanks,
it's
Randy.
93.
Yeah,
It's 93 degrees. So I mean, it's not like it's not really raining. You're just getting wet, but you're not getting cold. But I'd like to do that. But I think he should be. He's probably back from China now. Do you have any inclination to want to go to China? I've got none. If I never go there and die, I'm happy. But it seemed like he liked Hong Kong. I just, I
Oh,
have
Hong
no,
Kong. Well, it's
I have,
been freaking 44 years since I've been there. What,
and I got no,
1981? Do the math. I don't know. Somebody do the math because I'd have to do it.
I've
We
got
can
no
put you in a
wants, no
sidecar.
wants to
There
go.
you
No,
go.
no. Yeah.
I'd have to
I
look
got,
down. Dude, I'll tell you, 3.5 hours from Chiang Mai, I have a pillow on my lap and I'm literally leaning forward looking down and bobbing back and forth. God, I get a backache, because you're just in the wrong position.
on the
And my
7th.
eye hurts
I got
when
to try.
Dow's
I'm going
driving.
to try like hell, Tommy, to meet up with him. It seems like one thing after another. First, I wanted to finish the garage, and hopefully I'll be able to get that done. But that's going to creep up. I have to get a hold of him and still
Yeah.
try. I haven't done shit, man. I mean, well, I shouldn't say I haven't done it. I mean, pretty much got the whole freaking garage, and I still wait. Oh, is that a concrete truck? Yeah, it sure is a concrete truck. Did you guys see that?
Let me click off a chat.
Do you see the concrete truck?
Not yet.
Yeah, he's behind a
Um,
bush. He's got a back
I'm kind of off middle left top.
top. Yeah, top kind of. He just pulled in. Oh, he's going to come over and take a look, make sure he's not going to
Let
get
me get
something.
my eyeball close to it.
It's probably going
Yeah,
to
I
be
think I see
three.
him. Oh yeah, I see a guy with a blue shirt
Yeah,
walking.
yeah, that's him. Let's go up
Yeah.
to. Let's go to the other one. See what the guys are doing.
Okay. Let me go back to chat real quick. It's taking a while to load. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Somebody said Randy or Ron John, I forget. But last night I was moving. Okay, backstory. I thought, when I put my channel back up, I'm gonna hunt and peck and pick and choose some of my old videos and
Yay.
re-upload them, right? Or repost them with the caveat in parentheses after the title previously posted on such and such a date. So it doesn't look like I'm trying to double dip, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I've seen that one before. Okay. So I did that and a couple of them posted, but the other ones I had scheduled, they left my scheduled list at the scheduled time, but they didn't post.
Really?
Yeah. So I says, oh, wow. And I could not find them anywhere on my phone. So I went, shit. The next one that I was going to post, I really like it. So I said, I got to get that off my phone. So that started my project last night of transferring everything off of YouTube that was private to my phone, which was 86 gigs of shit dumped on my phone. And then I had to figure out where it says save to device. So I saved it to device. And then it's like it took me half an hour to find out where those photos were. And then once I found them, I created a folder in my gallery
Yeah, they're
called
coming right across the concrete. Yeah, the
export
concrete's only a
to
couple days old. Jesus.
export to
Oh,
my computer, right? And then when I said move folder, that's the only choice you have is move it. it actually copied it. It didn't get rid of it. It didn't move it. It made a copy. I'm like, that's stupid. So I go over to that folder, the My Device folder, and started deleting. And I went, oh, wait a minute. And I went over to my folder in my gallery, and it deleted them there too. So basically, I dumped 86 gigs on my phone, and then I transferred it from Google. It's in Google at that point. Transferred it over to my other. So now I just duplicated it. So I had 170 gigs used up in that 5 hours on my phone. And I think that's by design. Obviously, it's by design, but I mean by a money grab. So you buy more storage. I've gotten into conspiracy theories since I've been in bed for a month. But yeah, I was up 5 hours. It took me 5 hours to do that last night. And then I was freaking wide awake. It was 4:30 before I went to bed.
Why did he stop? Is he a moron or what?
Take your truck to the appointments and lay in the bag. Well, I could lay in the back, but I'd probably be sliding around, and I have to be face down. That would be pretty hot.
You don't stop. Good man. Better.
Yeah.
Don't hit my freaking cover. Yeah. That's an expensive cover. That's like
1981. I was in Hong Kong, and it was chaos then.
I got absolutely no. I guess I've been treated poorly by the very few Chinese people that I've met.
Well,
you know,
they're Chinese, but they're different.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked like Chuck was having a good time, and of course, his mother-in-law, Mafia, is a awesome person, you know, and she's Chinese. So, I mean, you know, you can't say it's like saying stuff, you know, grouping everybody together. It's not a good thing to do. But I just got, you know, what I don't like the most. You want to know the truth? Is the thing that they're coming up right now, where they go around and steal all the soy dogs and torture them, electrocute them, and eat them. I'm not big on their little party they have in China. So I think that's one.
Chinese people are doing that.
Oh, they do it every year. Yeah, there's a festival in China.
Oh, yeah. That's that man. They burn the fur off them when they're alive.
And you want to know why they say they do that? Because it makes the meat tenderer. If they torture them, they electrocute them too. They electrocute them, and they said it make. I'd love one to do it in front of me.
Man, I used to hunt, you know, big game.
I don't even want to hunt anymore. I don't want to kill.
No, I don't.
I'm almost thinking about, wanting to. If I wasn't such a big, I love to eat beef, a big giant steak. I tell you, man, I'm becoming a pussy, you know, an old, rundown pussy. You know, I mean, animals. I don't want to kill animals. I don't want to, you know.
What happened? Well, actually, Dave, as we get older, our iron skin gets thinner. You were always a pussy.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it's just, you know.
No, I don't. Even when I hunted, I felt terrible for at least an hour afterwards after killing a deer.
Yeah, I got no to do anything any more than that. But is it Japan that hoards all the dolphins into the cove and butchers, kills them all? Is that Japan that does that? I can't remember.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, there's a thing that they do it again every year. They take some and they give them to people like Marine Land or sell them, and the other ones they kill and leave them just laying there. I don't people just do shit.
I just wonder when our time's going to come, when some alien race is going to come down and start fucking eating us. And
I love that.
Well,
You know, it's what you're talking about too, right? What was it? The Time Zone? No, what was it? The old series where where they
oh,
had
like,
them reading the book. It's How to Cook Man or how to what
oh,
man? You remember which one? You know which one I'm talking about?
oh man, it's not. It's
How to
it's
prepare.
ringing a bell, but I'm not getting it.
Oh,
Yeah, but yeah.
yeah, where the
But like
aliens
War of the
came.
Worlds, man, they were the one with Tom Cruise. They were, bringing them up and churning them up, and
I just, it just, I guess, like I said, man, I just things affect me that didn't bother me at all 30 years ago bother me a lot now. And I don't know why. Is that because I'm a better person? I don't know. I just, I don't know.
I
It's,
think it's well both.
yeah, I think
You've
so.
become a better person, but you've also had a near death experience.
Yeah, that's true too.
Now, I'm not a clinician, I'm not a professional, and I'm full of hot air, but
Hey, Tip, how you doing?
I think that. Let me go back to I've seen enough cement trucks, so I can
And Brock says,
go to
yes, that's Japan, an annual hunt.
an
Yeah, it's like,
annual hunt. Huh? Yeah, I'm
it's
just not into
disgusting.
that,
I've seen I don't know, I've seen a movie or a documentary or whatever. These people snuck in and took the pictures. I mean, it was disgusting what they were doing to these
Twilight
dolphins.
Zone.
Twilight Zone, yes, yes, yes.
I like
Yeah,
the
that's
Rush song,
it's not
Twilight
the new
Zone.
man. It's not the new man cave. It's well, kind of. Half of it's going to be for my truck, so my truck isn't out in the weather, and the other half is going to be a workshop with an air compressor and spray washer and tools and lifts and all the mechanical stuff to work on stuff I'll probably never get
Right.
to. So, but
So
let's
what was I gonna say?
Brock put
Japan, Twilight Zone. Um, that picture Brock made of Jake with the swamp puppy on him.
yes,
He
AI
posted it in the group. It had a little
AI
alligator
thing.
on him.
Yeah,
I looked at that and I go, I knew who it was supposed to be, but it reminded me of somebody, and it reminded me of Neil Peart, the deceased drummer from Pearl from Rush. I mean, it just. I said,
oh,
that
there.
guy looks like somebody. It looks like somebody,
Let me
even
get
though I knew it
Jake's
was
dog.
Jake.
Jake's dog is whining at my door.
Hey, Serentip. So,
You don't like it because it's hot out there. I know, I know, I know. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. You're a good boy. Lay down.
plane landing on the roof.
Lay down. Relax.
So, what
Good.
else was I going to babble about? I don't know. But yeah, I go back to Chiang Mai on the 29th for my third follow up, and I should be cleared for, heads up.
Cool. That would be nice, huh?
Yeah, big time. Yeah. Then we'll worry about some more healing and then getting new corrective lenses. Bear. Who's Bear?
My dog.
Is Mama Bear in there, or is it somebody else?
No, I just let Bear in, my dog.
Oh, Jesus. I can't see this. I'm looking at the comments. Man, my phone is hot. Let me unplug it. Give it a little bit of a break. But yeah, I don't hunt anymore. In fact, I don't even have any firearms.
I don't either.
Sold or gave them all away. And of course, all the ones I gifted my dad over the years,
Your brother
he'll
got.
never. Yeah, and that just chaps my hide, man. I'm going to need some butthurt cream for that. And then I'm going to eat some mashed potatoes for comfort food. Right, Brock? If you know, if you know. If you know, you know. Yeah, I'm terrible with names, Dave. I apologize for not knowing your dog's name.
No, it's not.
That's like sacrilege in my life, in my world, because I love dogs. You know, I was accused of abusing a soy dog.
I heard that through the grapevine. Well, you know, some
Yeah,
people just
someone
don't
told me
have
about
common
that, and it's like, dude. So how would that go over with my the foundation that I volunteer at in Chiang Rai here?
Yeah,
How,
probably not good.
what would they think of me? Yeah. Oh, you know what? I understand that person that accused me of that has numerous CCTV cameras on the premises.
Well, I'm sure he's got to have some kind of a proof, right?
Oh,
You wouldn't say an
definitely,
accusation like that if you didn't
definitely got
have
to
it.
have
Well,
documentation.
yeah, I would think so. We got to have it. We're just waiting for it. I'm sure it'll come out.
Yeah, yeah. But I do
All
like
right.
me some mashed potatoes, and I want them hand delivered.
Oh,
Um, so real quick, and I'll try not to bug you.
that's right. Go ahead.
My video situation, obviously, I can't edit, so I explain why I'm putting up those boilerplate shorts, right? That my phone creates,
Right.
and then I just modify them to my pictures and choose whatever music they offer me, and say, "Oh, that'll work," and then I just hit it. You know what I mean? I don't care. I just want to establish a habit of putting something up regularly, and then I'll transfer stuff to my computer, and then I'll start, delving into my editing program and posting real videos. So, um, then what was I going to say? I
Look
don't
at
remember.
Tim.
So I
Look
guess
at
it
Tim.
doesn't.
That's the cousin right there in the black shirt on the right hand side. He's got no shoes on, no boots, nothing. He's barefoot in the
He's in the
concrete.
mud. He's
Uh huh.
walking in the mud,
Uh huh. See, look. You'll see him. He's the
dude.
one. Yeah.
Oh man,
And this guy
that's so
too.
hard on your body.
I think the one in the blue. I think the one in the blue is the concrete driver, isn't it? No, maybe not.
Well, I think that the well, I'm seeing hats now, but I thought when I first saw him, he didn't have a hat. But that's my blurry vision. Um. Oh, I know what I was going to say. When I asked you about how many bikes do you have,
Hmm.
um, I could fly to Burry instead of driving. I could fly to Buriram, right,
Hmm.
and hitch a ride or get a ride there, out whatever. But
Yeah, I can,
while I'm there, could I ride one of your bikes?
yeah, sure. Why not?
If I wreck it though, it's on you, man. I ain't.
I
No,
don't,
I'm just kidding you. I hate
no, sure.
borrowing shit. You know what I mean? I
Mine are
hate
all
borrowing
insured.
stuff. But no, then it's like because I don't want to be an inconvenience. Like, you can drive me back to the hotel and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll, you'll be seeing me sooner than later. In other words,
Cool.
because I I had a trip planned 1 month, and it incorporated Joe's wedding.
Right, right. I remember.
It had Brock's house. Brock was on the list. Joe's was on the list. Wahin was in the list. I was going to see like Bruce and a couple other people down there that I know, and I was going to come see you guys in Surin, I had a big ass. I had it all mapped out, brother. All the hotels scoped out. Dal says, talking about the wedding. I don't I don't want to be gone that long. And I says, well, that's why God made buses and airplanes. Because I'm
Did
going
you
to be gone a
understand
month.
that? Did you understand what you were saying?
After a few times explaining it.
Only one that got boots on is the guy that I told you right there with the plaid shirt.
God, man, I hated it with my hands.
I know. Dries
I
them
mean,
out,
it
right?
just, oh, geez.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Dries
not
them.
good for you.
No, not at all.
Oh, man. No.
This kid, see the guy in the blue? He's barefoot too. See
And
him? He's barefoot
right there, the
too.
guy that just stepped over something.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Him and Toon, he's
God
going to
dang
go
it.
over there and walk in the concrete. I'm not going to walk in, stand in it.
How soupy is it?
Oh, I'm sure it's soupy. I can't tell from here.
Man, I watched a pour the other day on a project, and it looked like it was water.
Yeah, exactly. So my buddy
Like, oh,
said.
we don't have to float it. It's already leveled itself out. I mean, I know, you got to put enough water in it. It's still under
I don't know. I poured a
compression.
lot of concrete. That's what I was telling my buddy. And all that concrete I poured in Ubon, and all the concrete we poured here, I ain't got cracks nowhere, man. And I told my buddy, and the only thing I could think of is that the humidity makes it take so long to cure and dry. I said, I got that. And he goes, well, they put a lot of steel. I said, they put hog wire. That's it. There's no rebar or anything in it. So,
Yeah, no, you're good. And even though, even around job sites and shit, they had to do a slump test and all that crap. And but okay, so there's a little extra water. It won't reach its full, 5,000
right, PSI.
psi. Maybe it'll be 3,500. But who gives a hoot, right? I see people comment on videos. Oh man, you're doing no wrong, and you know what I mean.
I haven't had any problem with the concrete that I've had poured here in Thailand.
But
Does it
that's what
work?
I grew up in the steel business. Okay, my dad was the vice chairman of the largest reinforcing and structural steel fabrication plant on the West Coast.
Wow.
Okay, and he retired from that, and so my summer job. Well, actually, I quit school,
Uh-huh.
and he said, no one's going to live in my house and not go to school. They got to get a job and pay rent. So I went down to the shop when I was 15 and a half and asked a structural steel foreman if I could have a job. He said, you old enough, Mitch? I said, yeah. Because I used to gig frogs with his kids, right?
Right.
Out behind the plant. And so he said, yeah. So I started at 2:30, and it was a 10-hour shift, 4 10s, but then we'd work 5 10s, and sometimes
Wow.
we'd work Saturday too. So I was banking it, man. I was at $6.70 an hour back then when I was 15. I was fucking rolling in the cash, back then.
Right.
But yeah. So anyway, and I didn't even have my driver's license yet. My mom would drop me off and pick me up, and she said, I can't do this. I can't drive at night. So then she said, here, just have the keys. So I just kind of adopted that car, a Chevy Citation.
Trip's got to go. All right. Trip, have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it.
Yeah, take care. Take care.
Let's see where he's. Wonder
No worry.
how many Q were in that truck.
No worry about the feet. Climate soupy sets better, no cracks. They say in this climate, okay. Whatever works, they know what they're doing. I hope. Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Stuff like that doesn't throw me over. What gets me is when I see guys hanging an outdoor unit on a brick wall, and it's like, it's gonna not support it, or if it is, it's for a couple of days. Like that side of that building that fell down in Pattaya a couple weeks ago. You know what I mean?
No, I didn't even know there was a building that fell down.
No, not the building. They had an architectural facade around it, and up at like the 34th floor or something, and all of a sudden it came crashing down. All the steel that held the decorative shit just, it was just anchors into the concrete. That's when you need your concrete to be proper, and you need your anchoring to be proper. And that shit just fell down.
They had 4 or 5 different grades. They had one that was started out like 1900, then 1950, then 1975, and then 2005 and 2020 or something. And I just picked the one in the middle. They said, "What's the one that you sell the most of for just a driveway?" And she said, "The one in the middle." I said, "Okay, perfect."
Oh, yeah, Ron John. He said it was weakened by the earthquake. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. They may have even said that. Someone asked me the other day, "Hey, did you feel that earthquake?" And I said, "No. What earthquake?" And so when Malaysia had their earthquake, I was in Pattaya, and I didn't feel it. And I was walking down Soi 5 to get some lunch, and I'm paying attention to the blocks that used to be perfect, but they're all cattywampus and trip hazards and shit. So I was paying attention to that, and then I look up and I see people looking out like there's a freaking comet coming or something, and like everybody just it just went like eerily quiet, and people were looking, coming out of their shops, just looking. And then I looked across the street and I saw wires between two poles kind of swinging, and there was no wind. And I went, "Huh, I wonder if we had an earthquake." And then dee dee dee, my phone my phone lights up. "Did you feel the earthquake?" And I said, "No, but I think I saw it. I think I saw the." Yeah.
Wonder if
Yeah.
my dogs were going to run in the concrete.
Ron John felt the Burma quake.
Did it?
That's what it was called when I was there, man, in 1981. So I still call it that, but I get corrected. Take the cage off the fan. I'm what fan, Tommy?
What happened?
Oh, I was just looking at his comment. He says, "Take the cage off the fan." What fan? He'll get back. He'll comment. But what else was I looking at? I was looking at someone else's. Weakened by the earthquake. Take care. Take care. Burma. Okay. Brock says, "I never worked out how laying chicken mesh under concrete works." Now, are you actually talking like chicken wire, or are you talking like wire mesh, real wire mesh?
This I call hog wire. I don't know what chicken wire is. That stuff that's maybe as big around as a golf ball holes. I've never ever seen any chicken wire used in concrete. But all it does is keep it from expanding. Like I've never seen these guys cut anything. Bring out a saw and cut the concrete, in section for expansion and all that. Expansion joints.
Yeah, make a crack joint,
right? My buddy said, the first thing he said it the other day. I talked to him 2 days ago, and he goes, Dave, don't they have pumpers? I said, first thing I said when I got here, Mike, how come they don't have a pumper, man? They could have pumped this whole driveway, I said, I've never seen one here. I said, I've seen a crane that held like a yard of concrete that they would lift up to go down into posts on the second floor, but an actual pumping truck, which every concrete contractor in California has, I've never seen one. And they're probably just too expensive to buy. They're just, they can have a guy with a wheelbarrow, push it where it's got to go.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I didn't feel it. I mean, it happened when I was there, and I was walking, I was awake, but what I was feeling was me stumbling on blocks. I'd step on a block, and a block would tip, and the next one would be solid, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then back to Brock about the wire mesh. Now, reinforcing steel or welded wire mesh.
They lift it up as they go along, bro.
Yeah, they chair it up. They Adobe block it or plastic chairs.
Yeah, they've got some blocks, and
it's it's supposed to be like a slab like that. It's supposed to be centered in the slab, or at least 2 inches up. I mean, you're usually going to 4-inch slab anyway, so 2 inches up. So, but that rebar, because concrete is only good for compression, not tensile strength. So the reinforcing steel and all that, the concrete bonds to that, and then it gives the concrete tensile strength. That's what that's for.
Well, usually, as they're going along, he put blocks underneath it, and then he'll reach down with like that little hoe he's got, and pull it up the wire, yeah, as they go along. That's what I've seen. I haven't seen. It's kind of blurry here, but I'm hoping they've got that so that water doesn't flood my garage. I hope it's rolling. They got some fall on that.
Wow, Randy, I wouldn't have ran out. Because in Seattle, when we had our 6.7 back in 2001, they said if it was like an 8, we would have had 6 feet of glass on the sidewalks from the buildings. That's how much they estimated.
No, I didn't see any run.
Off these high rises.
I mean, it's pretty standard practice. I know, at least in California.
Is what, Dave?
Expansion joints in concrete, cutting them.
Yeah. Washington is.
I've never seen one here. Neither is Ron. I've never seen one.
I've seen them on the highway, but they're not like our expansion joints. They're just like if you look up at the tollway,
right?
You're underneath it. You look up, you see where there's their gap. They've got these big steel plates connected to each one, and they'll move. So, because as it heats up, that concrete's going to expand, and then it's going to contract a little.
When does we just drove on? We went to Bangkok a week and a half ago, and when do you know when the expected dates when they're going to be complete with the driving highway, and what about the high speed train? Anybody know when that is supposed to be? I'm trying to think. Do I need to go to Laos? And that's on my bucket list. I want to ride on a high speed train. I don't want to go from Laos to China. I want to just go to Laos. But
I've never ridden on a high speed train.
I never have either. Anybody know when that one's supposed to be done? Brock, you're supposed
I
to
have
know
no
everything.
idea.
Right now, he's just punching like a mother, asking the almighty Google, please tell me when the train's going to be
Oh,
done up
on
there.
Dave's porch, the cage on the fan
See
holding
it
the
there?
birds.
But then the birds don't have a place to nest. I don't use that fan very much. But the other one, I don't think has a cage on it, and the reason that one does is probably because no one's gotten up there and taken it down. And I'm not going to climb up on a ladder, so that won't happen. The birds will have it unless it's hot. Then I might climb up there and pull it down. But those fans work pretty good. There's one on the top of the man cave too. It's perfect up there. I really like it up there. I don't go up there much, but I like
I have two, John. Yeah. I was gonna say I've been high on speed.
it.
I've been high on a train, but it wasn't going very fast.
I want to try that out. I don't, like I said, if it's, if it's in Lao, there's got to be a way to ride on it and not go to China, and there's got to be a way to get on that train and go, before you hit China and get off and spend the night and turn around and come back. I've never checked into it, but I probably will. But my wife seems to think in a couple of years that thing's going to be going, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
I don't know. How much is China involved in that?
I don't know if they're much at all. I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay.
The
Because
moving target. Yeah,
I know something's going to China. Some high speed trains going to China from Thailand.
That Lao train goes to China, but I don't
So
know what. Eventually,
I'm going to be going to Lao.
Yeah, when are you gonna? Are you gonna go really?
Yeah. Haven't. There's been discussion, and not the regular group, but someone else about a trip, and I'm going to tag along.
Yeah, see, I got to go with people that when I say, "Oh, you guys go ahead and walk your 20K, and I'll hire this guy here to drive me around, see what I want to see, and then when you get to eat a place to stop to eat lunch, text me. I'll meet you wherever you're at, eat lunch, then we'll meet up for dinner and breakfast, and not have whiny people go, well, why? Why don't they just come with us? You can't come with us? Because then I'll just get mad
Exactly.
and angry. Just leave me alone. Let me do what I want. Go do what you want. Leave me alone. And there are a lot of the people
Yeah.
that Chuck, the people that I've been before, I've never had that problem. They leave me alone. Once they know why, I get my knees, they hurt. You want to give me? You got extra morphine, Mitch? Give me a couple of morphine tablets and point me in the direction, and I'll start running. But other than that, I'm not going to do it. But I'd be game for something like that because if I go with my wife, I can only go for like 2 days. But Laos so close to me here, that isn't that big of a deal. But I'd like to go and spend 4 or 5 days, looking around and stuff. Cambodia, I think, is off the table right now for a little while. Not my wife's favorite deal. And I guess not many Thai people's. I guess they've been going at each other for a million years. I don't know. I don't know enough history. But
There you
she
go,
went out,
Brock. Yep.
and I think I told you what is high speed train, the same company involved with the collapsing building. Yeah, no, I hope not.
And
But
another thing that no one's mentioned about that building that collapsed in Bangkok under construction, even though they were using inferior, meaning not the right tensile strength, not grade 60, but they were using grade 40, which is 40,000 pound tensile strength. They were pouring their floors too soon and removing their shoring. So they'd pour, and then, like in a day or two, they'd pour the next floor, pour the next floor, and the
is
next
this for the
floor, and the
train?
next floor.
It's
It's
for
like
the
a house
train.
of freaking. No, for the building that collapsed during the
Oh, the
earthquake.
building. Well, you know what
It's
I
a
heard
house
about
of cards, man.
the only thing I heard about on the train was originally whoever designed it, whether it was Chinese or whatever, they made the assumption, oh, this is going to be a high speed train that can go 5 million miles an hour. Then they changed their mind and said, okay, we're downgrading it. Now our high speed train is only going to do 80 or whatever, according to whatever they redid the specs and they redid the calculations and they redid it. However, it was supposed to be built for and I'm guessing on these numbers, for a 150-mile-an-hour train. After they got done looking at it and stuff, no, our train's going to be 90 miles an hour. That's it. That's what it can do. That's the only thing I heard. Can't substantiate it. Can't say I heard it from, where I heard it. I just heard it. But
Yeah, Randy. There's so many of those all over the place. There's major construction infrastructure stuff going on.
They've been doing that since I got here. I've said, how can they even think that Thailand's even close to a third world country? Not even close. With their infrastructure stuff. Every place, they've always got something going on, right? At least for me, the last 5-6 years since I've been sort of traveling, you see it all over, right? But,
yeah, I wouldn't want to live in a high rise in China, Brock. Sorry.
That's where they put all the Americans. Well, we've got a hotel for you to stay in for free. Come stay with us.
I've always wanted to go to China, but
I got
now that they listen to everything we do, I might be in danger of going.
I would never. I'll never go there.
I've talked shit about the CCP.
I'll never go there. I don't see any scenario that puts me in China. Except when I was flying the cheap airlines, we flew into Beijing and then out of Beijing into California, but LAX. But that's the only time. And they looked at me weird when I was there. That airport was huge, and I got dirty looks from the time I got off the plane until the time I got on another plane.
No kidding.
Didn't like me, man. I'm telling you, I was in a wheelchair because my knee was bad one time. They get me out there. They roll me. They roll me over in the middle of nowhere.
That's crazy, Brock.
Nothing around. No place. Nothing to drink. Nothing to buy to drink. No bathrooms. I'm in a wheelchair. They leave me alone for 4 hours with no one around. I wasn't even near the gate, but there was no one else around. Came back in 4 hours, rolled me away. Luckily, I rolled myself to the bathroom so I didn't piss my pants and found a drink.
Wow.
So that's the kind of stuff that I base stuff on. But who knows? The worker pulled what? Tried concrete away from the wall with his hands and with his hand. What one of these workers?
Crappy rebar. That's why them 4 Chinese guys went running away with the books.
Well, God, what are these concrete trucks an hour apart or something? What the shit? Well, I bet you they got a lot of people pouring concrete today. It's been 2 dry days in a row, or 3, with very little rain. So let's see what this guy's doing.
Yeah, I know people that live in China. I've always wanted to go, but I mean the Chinese travelers that you see here are generally rich and rude.
Yeah, that's what I've run into. But like I said, you can't say it about every. But I'd like to, if I do take a ride on the Shadow and go just for an overnight deal to Chuck's area, I'll probably meet up with them for dinner or something. And I'm curious to ask him you say you liked it. What did you like? Tell me the stuff.
Dude, I love Hong Kong.
You can't say
we had a blast there, and we took the Star Ferry over to Kowloon, which is like mainland, and then we also took the underwater tunnel, one time, and then we went to Macau. So there's some beautiful stuff there, man. You get on the other side of like the major city of Hong Kong, and it's like you're in a Chinese fishing village, really beautiful. Well, that was in 1981. It's probably built up now. So there's another truck coming up
Is there?
soon, Dave?
I don't know. I hope so. Well, I'm going to end the vid. I'm going to end pretty soon. How long are we into this thing? I don't see one on the 4 deal there. I'll leave that one up. But what? 13 people there. Hey, 2 hours and
Yeah.
10 minutes. I was going
Ron
to do a
John's got a
5-minute
point,
live.
Dave.
What's
Even
that?
though China, took it early, it was going to be like transferred over, that 100-year deal or whatever it was. But they just said, "Fuck it, we want it now," and they took it over. But they pretty much left it to its own devices, let it run itself. You know what I mean?
Right.
They've got some CCP rules, of course, but curfews for American bearded men is 5 p.m. till 6 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been on 2 hours and 11 minutes. 13 diehards here. Thank
Wow,
you, guys.
almost 11 o'clock. Let me do my thumbs up. Oh, I can't because I'm not on YouTube. I can turn on my spare phone, though. I have the technology.
This is 11. I need to lay down and put my feet up. All right, everyone. I guess I'm going to end this live stream. And I probably today is Wednesday, right? That's my normal day to do a live stream. So Saturday I'll do another live stream. So let me see if it'll let me. No, I think if I press end stream, I don't think, since I have anything set up, it's just going to end. Only 14 out of 13 like the show. What is that? Oh, I only got 4 thumbs up. I can't
Well,
see
I'm
it.
signing in my phone, so give it a second. It's an old S8 Samsung.
All right, everyone. Thanks, Mitch. Take it easy.
Hey, thanks
Everybody,
for letting me
Ron,
come and
Josh,
talk.
Randy. Yeah, no problem. You have a good
Take
one.
care, everybody.
I'll talk to you soon, because when I press this button, I'm probably going to disappear. All right, everybody, have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, and I will catch you on the next one.
Okay.
Oh, it's going to let me set the outro. Hold on. Can you still hear me?
Yep, can still hear you.
Let me set outro. Intro and outro videos automatically play. Clip core 222 full HD. Okay, continue. You're still here.
Oh, it's like waiting for water to boil. My
Oh, it wants me to.
phone's starting.
In order to do that, it wants me to. Pay $44 a month. I think I could do it like I used to.
Really?
Yeah. Let me see now. How did I used to do it? I used to go to here. Let me try to do it. Hold on.
Really?
Yeah. Let me see now. How did I? What happened? How come I'm getting an echo?
That was my phone turning on. Sorry.
Oh,
I muted it.
let me see now. Now, I think I used to go to here, and then I would go down to my outro, and I would say, what would I say? Where's the outro? Countdown. Okay, live stream outro. I would click it and say, all right, everybody. All right, I'll see you later. All right, let's
Okay,
try
there.
this.
Boom. I just texted.
All right, here I go. I think for $44 a month, I can click one more button. All right, everybody, have a great one.